Hello everybody, back with the fusion root over rock projects. Been just letting them grow, letting the cuttings root. This is the little ash. It's done really quite well. I have actually achieved some fusion of the 5 trunks, particularly here at the base, and have a couple of little shoots I'm going to leave on as sacrifice shoots. And already it is starting to sit down onto the rock as the trunks are swelling, the roots are fusing. So I don't envisage this tree getting any much taller than this, but certainly squatter. I had a couple of people ask me about the wires and the scarring. The wires have almost completely gone now, and this will heal over, and hopefully possibly by this time next year, if I'm lucky, those scars should have healed up completely, and I should have a nice little trunk. That's about a good half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch in diameter. I have to think then, diameter or circumference or diameter. We'll give you a quick 360, and there we go. So that's that one. That one's doing really quite nicely. As I say, it's pulling down onto the top of the rock now. The roots can't go anywhere underneath, so it has no choice as they flatten up but to squash down. Okay, so here's one of the willow cuttings. 5 cuttings in fact, placed around this rock. Some of these roots are rooted into the soil, some of them came out over the side. They'll be cut off to a later date. What I'm going to do now is try and gather these in as tightly as possible. It doesn't matter if they overlap slightly. I want to get them into the centre of the rock, like so, trying not to get any of the foliage caught. Okay, so that leaf, let go. Now how much you can see that and how much is my hand, but I'm going to try and secure that with a piece of wire. Reasonably tightly. I don't want to damage the cuttings too much. You can see, trying to pull them in as tightly as possible to the soil and to the rock. Okay, so, and then it's just a question of trying to bring the rest all up together. And because we're now at the end of September, it's quite late in the season. We're not going to get a lot of growth on these now. There won't be any fusion this year. I also don't want to put too much stress on them before they shut down for the winter, so I'm just tying these up loosely for now. That just keeps them roughly in position. I don't want to put too much stress and strain on them. Now as they fatten up, as you saw with the ash, they will gradually tighten around the rock. I perhaps should have tightened that a bit tighter. There. So that's basically holding that into place. I'll go back in the water for now, and then as we start towards the first frost I will retrieve it from the water to overwinter. I have another couple. As you saw before, this one has actually grown some quite nice roots and some side shoots to help fatten up. Again, I'm not going to do much with it. I'll tie it in some more during the springtime, and when it's lost all its leaves, before it gets its leaves in the spring, and I can actually see what I'm doing. Some of these I've had just in a washing up bowl of water. I've been doing some in these 9cm pots, and I've found they sit really nicely in these fish food tubs, so that's worked really quite well. Some of these have already tied up, so I've got some with 3 roots, 3 cuttings, some more with 5, and so on. You can use, I found some nice long rocks. At the moment this is just 2 groups of trees, one either side, and I've tied those up for the winter. Come the spring, when they start to grow again, I will tie those in tightly and go from there. You can use some very tall rocks. If you actually use some wool that will rot away over the winter to actually pull these roots in a bit tighter. And if you're of a nervous disposition, particularly in regarding to neat and tidy wiring, you might want to look away. Here's one where as one has been tied to the rock, and I've wrapped it very loosely in some thicker wire to try and put a bit of shape into it. So we'll see how that one goes next year. Had an infestation of caterpillars which I've had to deal with. Do try and grow mostly organically, try not to use chemicals, so you have to put up with these little attacks every now and again. Keep your eye open because they can devastate your trees quite quickly. Some of you might be looking on and thinking that's a lot of willows, and yes it is. Willows do take very readily from cuttings. This technique seems to lend itself to willows. But I have got some nice little birch seedlings for next spring. Coop and I have been out walking, and well, actually I've done most of the looking out, if I'm honest. Coop's been pretty lazy in terms of looking for rocks, but finding rocks of myriad descriptions, sizes. So I'm going to have a go with some of the birch seedlings. I've also got some field maple seedlings, some Zelkova seedlings on the go. So I'm going to try it with some other species, not necessarily from cuttings, and we'll try that in the spring. Looking forward to that, and we'll see how we go. Anyway, that's enough blathering, so give it a try if you fancy it. Thank you for watching.